in another world he once saved. He is now being summoned again. Back then, Setsu was summoned to another world, along with his classmates. They were treated like heroes, revered for possessing power that had never existed in that world. However, the story did not end there. He returned to Japan not as a hero, but as an ordinary teenager whose life felt even lonelier. The world he had once saved slowly began to fracture again, and without any warning, Setsu was summoned for the second time. Once again, he had to raise his sword, but this time not to become a hero. The world had changed. The people he once knew had chosen their own paths, and Setsu himself was no longer the naive saving the world. This was about keeping a promise and bringing everything to an end. But for Setsu, this was not a new experience. This was his second summoning. As his hero powers returned, Setsu instantly destroyed one of the metallic monsters with a single strike to protect Yuhi. He saw the royal army being overwhelmed, and many were falling one by one. His emotions were mixed confusion, anger, and disappointment. This war should have ended long ago when he left. But the truth was that after Setsu left Ekla, Toma had been moving behind the scenes.
と僕の邪魔をするんだね。でも今度こそフィナーレだ。この世界の幕引きと行こうよ、節。
Toma. He was the one who activated the circle and dragged the entire class, including Setsu, Yuhi, and himself back to the world of Ekla. He manipulated the human kingdom into violating the peace. All of it was done for his own ambition to become a hero. Not long after the first battle, the students were taken to the royal palace of Destinia. There, King Disma welcomed them as heroes who had come from another world. Aside from Setsu, the other students still looked confused and frightened. From that meeting, Setsu finally learned that the war had truly broken out again in a world that was supposed to have been at peace for the past 5 years. The next morning, the students began their training in magic and swordsmanship. They were trained by Commander Glenn and Princess Eruka.
無意識でも剣筋がぶれないように体に形を覚えさせるんだ。
魔法はイメージの具現化です。しっかりと自分の中でイメージを描いて。
However, to Setsu, the training felt completely pointless. He chose to skip the training and relax on his own instead. Unfortunately, his actions were quickly discovered. Eruka caught him and scolded him. Setsu tried to explain that he was the hero who had once fought alongside them in the past. At first, Eruka did not believe him. However, after Setsu easily defeated her just as he often had before, Eruka's memories finally returned completely.
This 衝撃はまさか。
思い出したかよ、俺のこと。お？せっちゃま！ おう、久しぶり。いつまでその姿勢でいる気だよ。
申し訳ありません。必死ですね。
いや別に。
Not long after that, Glenn arrived after hearing the news of their legendary hero's return. Glenn and Aruka were overjoyed and immediately invited Setsu to meet their old friend, a royal mage named Tiana. The three of them immediately bombarded Setsu with questions about why he had left 5 years ago, and Setsu explained that he had actually been forced to return to his own world. Setsu then asked about the current state of the world and how the war had broken out again. And in his heart, his suspicion toward Toma grew stronger. Meanwhile, Glenn was summoned to attend a royal council meeting. There, the greedy King Disma openly declared a total war against the demon race. Glenn suggested waiting for the results of negotiations, but the king immediately rejected the idea. He even mocked Setsu's past decision to make peace with the demons. That afternoon, Setsu met Yuhi and praised how quickly her magic had improved. However, Yuhi felt sad that her power would be used for war. Even so, she smiled and said that she would become stronger in order to protect Setsu. That night, Glenn and the others informed Setsu that the war could no longer be avoided.
いや、今回は俺一人で行く。え？この状況。
Setsu made his decision. He would walk his own path and try to stop this conflict once again. But before that, he had to retrieve his beloved sword, Kuramaru, which he had once stored in the royal treasury.